Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joyofbaking.com. Today we're going to make a chocolate banana bread. So first preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 180 degrees Celsius. And then we will need a 9-inch, that's 23 centimeter loaf pan, and you can either butter it or spray it with a nonstick vegetable spray. Now, a chocolate banana bread is your standard quick bread where you just have the dry ingredients in one bowl, the wet ingredients in another, and you mix them together and you're done. So in one bowl I've put 1 3/4 cups, that's 230 grams of white all-purpose flour. And to that I'm going to add 1/4 cup, that's about 25 grams, of unsweetened cocoa powder. And you can use either the regular or the Dutch process, whichever one you like. And I'm going to strain this to remove any lumps. The only big difference between a banana bread and a chocolate banana bread is the cocoa powder. We're just replacing some of the flour with cocoa powder. And then to that I'm going to add 1 cup, that's 200 grams of granulated white sugar, and then 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm just going to whisk all that together. You want to get all those ingredients all combined. Okay, and then in our second bowl I have 2 large eggs, and I'm just going to whisk those together. And to that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Try to use the pure vanilla extract. It tastes better than the imitation ones. And I'm also going to add 1/2 cup, 113 grams of butter that has been melted and cooled to room temperature. I prefer to use the unsalted butter because I like the taste. Plus I like to control the salt in the recipe, but if salted butter is all you have in the house, that's fine. And then the last ingredient is 3 large ripe bananas that have been mashed. I just use a fork like this to do that. And if there's some chunks, that's okay. So I'm just going to add that. And stir that all together. Okay, so I'm going to add the wet to the dry. And to that I'm also going to add 1/2 cup, that's about 55 grams of chopped walnuts or pecans, or you can use hazelnuts, and 1/2 cup, about 85 grams of white chocolate chips or chunks. If you don't like white chocolate chips, you could use dark or milk, or even peanut butter would be good. And if you don't want to use the nuts, you could just up the amount of chocolate chips to 1 cup instead of 1/2. So just stir all this together. Just stir until everything's moistened and combined. Don't over stir it, or that makes a tough banana bread, which we don't want. Okay, put that in. Smooth the top. I'm just going to bake this for 55 to 65 minutes, just until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. Okay. There we go. Our chocolate banana bread is now done. Now with quick breads, always check to see if they're done by inserting a toothpick into the center and make sure it comes out clean. As you can see, this is a really nice looking bread with the deep chocolate brown color with the white chocolate chips poking through. Its texture is moist and it's sweet with the flavor of bananas, which is offset by the chocolate flavor. Now let it cool like this in the pan for about 10 minutes and then remove it. And you can cover and store this for a few days at room temperature, or it can be frozen for longer storage. So until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joyofbaking.com.